Hi, it's Adam here. I'm back with what I think is the final episode in this little mini-series on the subject of the Great Resignation. Had some great feedback from you all, so thank you very much for that. And today it's still going to be short, but it's a little bit more rambly potentially. How do you keep your best people in your organisation? What is the way to do that? Well, it comes down, I'm sure, to more than one thing. Wrapped up in all of that is this idea of purpose within your organisation and engaging people that align with that purpose. So it's about recruiting people at the front end who demonstrate those values that are very similar to your organisation. Again, I'm sure it's not an alien concept to you. It's one that's been spoken about many times by many people over the years. But what have you got in your recruitment process that tests for those values, finds out what's important to people beyond just the competency to be able to do the job? So really think about that, because if you get aligned values with your company values and purpose, you're much more likely to get people that are thoroughly engaged in the process and that want to stick around for the long term, because it comes to something more than just what they're getting rewarded, certainly from a pay perspective. And actually, I've quoted a few books as we've gone through this little series. I come back again to Drive by Dan Pink, which is fantastic. I really recommend you read it. But he says something in there, and I haven't got the quote, I haven't got the reference. You'll have to read the whole book or listen to it. But it's around the idea that if people are compensated above average market rate so that you can take cash off the table for negotiation, certainly if they're being approached elsewhere, what the evidence finds is that when cash is removed as a potential motivator, their ability to deliver on their promises to you and to achieve their own sense of purpose is exaggerated massively. It goes up exponentially. So you do need to review your rewards and compensation rates, not just to keep people though, but to have a much more engaged workforce. And there's lots of different ways that you can look at doing that. And I covered some of them, I think, in the first episode here. I think the other thing is accept that you can't win them all. Have a strategy in place for knowing that people might leave at some point. Now, especially with your key senior team, and that's what we get involved in a lot more now with our Hawk Butler business. But especially with your key senior team, you do need some idea about succession planning. You can't keep them all. Some people will be tempted away to possibly more exciting opportunities than the ones you've been able to give them. So have that succession plan in place, but also make sure that you conduct valuable exit interviews. Ask them what they enjoyed about working in your organisation and what was the thing that brought them there in the first place and what made them stay for a period of time. Ask them what it is that's tempted them out to go off and work elsewhere, and learn from it and put things in place to make sure that you're improving that as you go along. I mean, people leaving are much more likely to give you direct and honest feedback than at any other point. And you should really be keen to find that. I posted recently about, constructive feedback, or criticism as we used to call it. People tend to defend it when they're criticised, but it's the best opportunity to learn that you've got. So really take it on the chin and put things in place that will improve your processes to keep people in future. And my last thing, I know this has been a bit longer than any other video I've done on the subject. And look, it's really simple. And it sounds a bit twee even saying it. But look, the kinder you can be as leaders in your organisations, the better you will be. Sometimes you've got to be cruel to be kind. Yes, we know that you've got to be a bit ruthless sometimes. But do things with compassion. Always be thinking about what your words or actions are making people feel. And number one rule for me is, remember, in the privileged position of leadership, you work for them. It's never the other way around. And I think if you get that one nailed, you'll be on the right path. Well, look, that brings our little 5-part series to an end. I've enjoyed delivering it. I've really loved hearing some of your comments. Hope it's been helpful in some way. We're here to help you in any way, even if it's just a friendly chat. So don't be a stranger. Reach out. Let's touch base soon. And good luck with whatever the future holds for you and your business. That's me signing off.